Uchenna. This morning we'll tell you about other issues in the policy. The president has sworn in some new people. We'll give you the details. And he has also approved the establishment of a university in Ogoni land. The planned telecom protest slated for today has been suspended. 3 unions in the aviation sector also have announced suspension of their planned strike. And of course, look at the protest by mechanics in Aba over implementation of the relocation plan. APC pegs Anambra Guba nomination form at 50 million naira. We have no constitutional powers over the IGP. We never directed his retirement. This is coming from the Police Service Commission. And then finally, Northwest governors meet the UN officials to advance regional development. Please join the conversation on Facebook. It's Magic FM Aba. Like us and drop your comments.
All right, President Bola Tinubu Monday presided over the swearing-in of newly appointed members of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission (RAMFAC), the Federal Character Commission (FCC), and the National Population Commission (NPC). Tinubu also swore in 8 former directors in the Federal Civil Service as permanent secretaries. This was disclosed Monday in a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga. According to him, 21 members of the RAMFAC, along with 1 new member each from the FCC and the NPC, took their oaths of office at the Council chamber before the commencement of the Federal Executive Council FEC meeting. He noted that the newly appointed permanent secretaries from 8 states passed rigorous processes, including a written and oral examination and ICT competency tests. Among the permanent secretaries was Dr. Onwusoro Ihemelando, an optometrist from Abia State and a World Bank certified procurement expert. Ihemelando joined the Federal Civil Service in 1997 as a senior optometrist with the Federal Ministry of Health and later transitioned into the procurement cadre. Before he was appointed permanent secretary, Dr. Ihemelando was the director of procurement in several ministries, including environment, labor and employment, as well as interior. Anyway, that's good. When there are vacancies and there are competent hands, there is no need to live in a vacuum. These are not board members, but I recall that in the days of Buhari, there was a protest. 4 board members were appointed at some point. And you know that when they are not in place, certain functions of certain environments cannot actually take place. He did it, but it was rather late. Notwithstanding, we say congratulations to the gentlemen and women, particularly the one that is from home, Ihemelando.
Well, the president has approved the establishment of a Federal University of Environmental Technology in Ogoni, River State, Nigeria, South. This is coming amidst discussions over a resumption of oil extraction in Ogoni land. The president signed the bill establishing the new university yesterday. Bayo Ononuga, Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, announced this in a statement on Monday. Ononuga said Ogoni of Tai will host the university. During the signing ceremony at the State House, the presidential aide said the establishment of the university will further empower Ogoni indigents, provide more opportunities for participation and development. Recall that Ogoni people have been at the forefront of development and agitation of their area, which has suffered environmental degradation.
Well, Tai is a popular junction in River State, where the east-west road traverses, and of course is a T-junction where you have one end going to Akwa Ibom State and the other end going to Bori, all the way to Gokana land and of course Ogoni land. I still pass there through tricks to Opobo and the rest of them. That much I had done before, so it's a good thing coming for these people. But if you're having a university of environmental technology, right, is a good one. But you recall that when President Buhari came on board way back, a certain Amina Mohammed, who went back to the United Nations as minister at the time, with all pomp, declared, the clearing or cleaning of the environment in Ogoni land. That did not happen. Now, if you are bringing a University of Environmental Technology, yes, it is coming amidst reports that the cleaning of the environment may start. Has it started? I think what should be paramount to those people now is the cleaning of the environment, and then of course, oil exploration can start. Because indeed, if you go to that place, you will weep, just like we have so many other places, in the Niger Delta, all right, where oil is explored. We say congratulations. It's not going to be for just the Ogoni people. It will be for Nigerians, but domiciled in their environment. I hope that also will make them realize that people are not supposed to live in that kind of environment. That's the way I look at it. And it shouldn't be a very populist, action by President Tinubu. Let it be seen that as there is an environment already where it will be domiciled, all right, even if it is temporary, that action will be taken so fast so that students will come. Because it is one thing to say it's going to be, it's another thing for it to happen in the next 2 years plus before politicking starts. That is my fear.
Well, 2 weeks ago, the president met some stakeholders, traditional rulers, including the governor, Similaye Fubara, and Nyesom Wike. That meeting happened at the villa, and I think that a lot of demands were made.
Federal government, led by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, yesterday, being Monday. According to a statement signed by the Director of Information and Public Relations in the Office of the SGF, Segun Imoliose, the meeting was aimed at maintaining industrial harmony and to also protect the interest of Nigerians. He said that the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, who spoke on behalf of the federal government, said that the purpose of the meeting was to look into the study carried out by the NCC, which led to the 50% increase on telecoms tariff. After intensive deliberations, the two bodies agreed to set up a 10-man committee comprising 5 members from the federal government and 5 from the NLC to review the study and submit its report within 2 weeks. The NLC President, Comrade Joe Ajero, said that the union would wait till the outcome of the committee to determine its next line of action. The same story all the time. Whenever there is a meeting, the government will say those who are going to earn it, who are very few anyway, as government workers, enjoy their money. All right? So let's hope something tangible will come out of this.
I think that on a lighter note, the way people get dragged on social media, people make fun and say because every Tom, Dick and Harry is on social media, maybe by the time they increase the money, some people may not be able to be on social media. Maybe it will reduce the nuisance that we see on social media.
It's quite possible, but it's quite possible. But the fact of the matter is that there is something about this social media of a thing. It's like an addiction. Between you and I, the money we spend on the internet every month, if you actually look back and take stock, you see that you spend so much on it. All right, 8% was muted. You said that NCC or the telecom operators were just throwing the cat, that they were asking for 100% because it was still going for negotiation.
True.
NLC also coming up with 5%. I think it's just a ploy to see where there will be a meeting point. But 50%, in all honesty, is way too big, because where do you shift it to the next time? And there is always a reason to, because whatever goes up in Nigeria never comes down.
Maybe I'm speaking as an individual. If I go to price something in the market and it's 1,000 naira, I don't know how to start pricing from 20 naira, because I feel that in my head, haba, this person they sit down for sun, this person they sit down for rain. So I try to bring up a price that will even sound reasonable even to the listener. So that's why I said 5%. And also, are you joking? But it's all good. We move.
Annie, let me hope also that whatever has gone up in Nigeria, when things get better, and I hope things do get better, would also come down in terms of pricing.
We're still around strike-related matters. 3 unions under the aviation industry have also announced the suspension of their proposed strike that was due to commence today. Suspension of the strike would have affected movement of flights in the aviation industry. And so there was a meeting between the management of the Nigeria Meteorological Agency, NIMET, and the aggrieved unions. The affected unions are the National Union of Air Transport Employees, NUATE, the Amalgamated Union of Public Cooperation, Civil Service Technical.
That we hear strike here, strike there. My worry, Annie, is these things that we hear is not being heard by Nigerians alone. Everything in the media today is international, is worldwide, depending on those who are exposed to it. And I think Nigeria as a big nation, whatever happens in Nigeria, a lot of people around the world are listening and watching. We have the embassies here. It could mean that the workers are not being treated well, and that is the reason from every sector, every other day and week, you keep hearing of strike here, strike there. Does it portend anything good for the image of the country? That is my big worry. We're just talking about NLC wanting to go on strike. Jusun, particularly in Abia, whether it has conclusively called off the strike, all right? And then in other sectors, ARD, Association of Resident Doctors in Kogi State, just day before yesterday, and on and on. This is what we keep hearing. How does the world look at Nigeria? It means there is no connect between the workers and the
Cube. Meya koburu area mishaka. Rienri ne dozi ahota.
Joduro no. Milo yiyato. Mo ń wà kọsílẹ̀ support energy release lára ẹ̀. Ṣé Milo kan náà ní ṣá?
Rárá o, tuntun lélẹ́yìí ó dára ju ti tẹ́lẹ̀. Àkọlé support energy release tẹ̀ ń wo ìtumọ̀ sí wípé ìgbà tí ẹ bá fún àwọn ọmọ yín ní Milo nínú oúnjẹ àárọ̀, ẹ ń fún wọn ní okun láti lọ sí ilé ìwé nìyẹn.
Èmi máa fẹ́ràn eléyìí o.
Àwọn ọmọ rẹ nílò okun tó ń ṣara lóore. Máa fún wọn ní àkọ́tun Milo tí a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ rọ lágbára sí láràárọ̀. Ó ní èròjà aṣara lóore tó ń ṣàtìlẹ́yìn ìpèsè okun fún wọn láti járamọ́ iṣẹ́ òòjọ́ wọn. Milo, okun ìtẹ̀síwájú.
Milo. Now who dey sell phone? I wan buy Nokia phone.
Madam, welcome. See Nokia phone.
Why they call write am Nokia HMD?
Nokia HMD. Now the same Nokia phone where you sabi tete with the latest features of
Max in their lunchbox every day to help your kids refuel at break time and keep winning all day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo.
Vacancy exists for qualified advert scheduling personnel at Magic 102.9 FM. Aba, qualified applicants should possess strong technical skills in ICT with proven ability in handling technical issues like graphics, networking, web design and development, troubleshooting and repairs of ICT gadgets. Send your handwritten or typed applications to the general manager through aided by security operatives. They wondered what their offense was, as to the best of their knowledge, they had not flouted any government orders. They, however, expressed desire to hear from government on the true state of their operations. Some of the workers, Prosper Okon, Emenike Kenneth, and Sivano spoke on behalf of the protesters.
We, Automobile Workers Association of Aba, have come to complain to the government to come to our aid. For almost 1 week and now, unknown people came into our shop and be towing vehicle out from our shop. We don't know who they are, and we don't know if the governor is aware of this because they did not come with government task force. We have been suffering for 1 week and now we are not working. And I remember the government said that anybody that doesn't have workshop, a roadside work mechanic should be sent to a good place. But now they are coming into our shop. Many of us have paid for the shop for almost 10 years and rent it, but yet they still come to tell, and they have been extorting 50,000 each.
It's from the governor directly. So we want the governor to address this issue.
Recall that in early 2024, the Abia State government had announced the planned relocation of auto mechanics and spare parts dealers to the Ovom Industrial Cluster in Aba. Anyway, what we're seeing here is your word against mine, but the argument they have put forward is the youth security agencies, they've been able to approach government at least from one end, and it appeared from the reaction they got that they were not directed by government. They also pushed the argument that they are in an enclosed garage. That is what garage actually means. If you hear of mechanic garage and all that, it's where maybe one person has an enclosure well planned for the business that they say yes. The spare parts dealers, you could say yes. All right? That is not justifying anything. If it is the fact of the matter, if government says if you have an auto garage already, well planned out for the business, you must move from there to the new place. We have to talk about that.
I think that the protest by the mechanics is one I didn't see coming. The government, in its wisdom, in trying to sanitize the state, said all roadside mechanics should move to the village. Agreed. At some points, they did complain that the money was too much, and government said, "Don't worry, just we're working on it. We'll build infrastructure there. We'll make things right. We'll relocate you and all that." Now,
most of the workshops or garages that we have very young people. Aging people. Let me put it that way: aging people. Young people are not coming on board anymore. Anyone who is listening now, who goes to the mechanic garages, can tell the true story. Our so-called engineers from the university, what are they called? Mechanical engineers from the universities. When they finish their mechanical engineering, they look for works in the bank. So some of them just want to do other things far away from what they went to learn. Even the mechanical engineers from the universities take their vehicles to the artisanal mechanics to fix minor things. Not because it is dirty, and if it is dirty, that is why you are, a mechanical engineer, by the way. All right? And I'm not done with which they fix the ceilings to the roof. The pits are not tiled, the floors are not tiled, the place is not electrified, there is no water. A whole lot is needed there.
And there is an erosion problem.
I wonder
that big issue.
Erosion problem. I also wonder if they have, conveniences like toilets and all that. Now, if a mechanic finishes at the end of the day, going home, if he does not have his own vehicle, he probably will have to wear that uniform and enter a keke, as the case may be, to wherever he's living. So I think this thing should be mapped out properly, such that they synthesize it in a manner that if you are not obstructing the road by any chance, if the neighborhood is not being disturbed by any chance, it is well gated that they can stay. And then the money to acquire the place, they say, is way too high. How can they get it? Some of them do not get up to 2 million naira in a year. I've associated with them for too long. As a matter of fact, they are just doing a yeoman's. All it takes is for any young man or woman to pay for that expression of interest form, and then becomes an honorable. And forever and ever,
it's true. They will attach them to your name.
Of course, he's honorable. I think the parties are just using this as a guise to send off some people. Don't come close. You are not fit. Or they're also using it to generate funds.
No, of course, that's what it is.
Yes, to generate funds. But in doing so, whether we use the word generate or we call it a subscription, because you must be a bona fide card-carrying member of a party to express interest anyway. And before the election period, you must have been making some subscriptions to keep the party afloat. Yes, the bigger guys may pay more, but as a member, even from the ward, there is some stipend you pay, I want to believe. All right? So, 50 million, 10 million. As a matter of fact, million who, because they have money.
The problem of having many people is that they will fight.
Let them fight now.
So they believe that if you put it, the higher the amount, the few people you can manage.
But the few people, do you know what happens from experience? Even though I'm not part of them, but what I know is that one person can also pay the whole 10 million and bring the other 9 people. Have you forgotten? That is what we see in this country. One person may end up paying the 40 million for the 10 people and own all of them. That is what I'm trying to say.
Like Yesom Wike.
To the extent that if you are even going to tell someone, I'm interested, this one is not official yet. What politicians say, there are godfathers and godmothers within the parties. And so if you just go to one to whisper to them, it'd be like, say, I'm interested. That alone, you go with something,
expensive
proper something.
Why should your form be 50 million naira?
But is the party, those are the secretariat of the party. Don't you know they are human beings as well? It's not enough, is in Nigeria's coinage. They too want to be big now.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say? The man who is the chairman of the party, he midwives all the elective offices and officials who end up getting it. At the end of the day, he's now looking forward to them to do something. But they are making it big there.
Okay.
So this is a chance for them. Do you think every penny they pay at the point of expressing interest or getting nomination forms and all that, you think every penny is remitted to the account of the party? There are several ways to spend the money. We hired canopies and we cut the grass at the backyard. We repainted the walls. The chair with the brick. We don't call carpenters.
I know.
You know, the vehicle that broke down because we need to go through all the wards. We have fixed the you know, and because it's an all-comers affair. Everybody goes, and once it is done, why not? Even the African Development Bank, they have their own portion that they do for, you know, nations in Africa. The World Bank does it as well. All right, they assist in the development of areas, particularly in the developing world. But I think we can begin to develop to a level where what we'll be needing is not like, you know, a guy going cap in hand every other time. The president is going out looking for investors, meeting business people across the globe. At the regional level, governors are also going. Maybe very soon, now that the local governments are becoming more autonomous, we'll begin to see a situation where local government chairmen too will begin to go approach the United Nations, or as the case may be. It may not be bad, but if everything there is, you know, accessed and put to good use, yours sincerely would not, you know, bother. But it's not enough when maybe what they are looking for is something they can, you know, put their fingers into and use it for their political purposes. Because whether you like it or not, by the end of this year, inching into 2026, politicking will start. There'll be those who will be looking for second term. There'll be those who will be seeing how they can pull down those who want to go for second, extend to the IGP. The Police Service Commission is one of the federal executive bodies established under Section 153 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic as amended by virtue of paragraph 30, part 1 of the third schedule of the Constitution and clause 6, sub 1 of the Police Service Commission Establishment Act 2001. The Commission is charged with the responsibilities of appointment, promotion, dismissal, and exercising disciplinary control over persons holding offices in the Nigeria Police Force, except the Inspector General of Police. Well, if it is so clearly stated out, and now that they have quoted the Constitution and all the relevant subsections, one may not have any argument. But that was not quite prevalent in the system until Muhammad Buhari came.
From some of the dailies, you know, last week when the announcement came forward that if you are 60 years, you should retire from the police, or if you've spent 35 years. Some headlines said, Police Service Commission retires IGP orders. So I think that headline caused problems, and Police Service Commission is not explaining to say, no, we only issued a communique saying that if you're 60 you should go. We did not add the IGP's name. It is not even part of our mandate to ask anybody, the IGP, to go. So the clarification basically came out from some of those headlines that tried to jam the head of the PSC and the IGP's office.
No, for me, I think some of the headlines now, even though they are trade gimmicks and tricks, more so that they go on the street to sell. Thank God for the internet with
executive fiat.
All right, to say, okay, stay or go. The same way, even midterm, all right, the president can as well say go. But beyond that, can we have a situation where, now that we know they cannot go, that the appointment of IGPs is not left to the president in power? That is a big question, because loyalty is often to the man who appointed you. In all circumstances, loyalty is to the man who appointed you. In Nigeria, where we have had elsewhere, like I said yesterday, when I quoted a certain police chief in one of the states in America that told Donald Trump, no, we no go agree for you, we swore to the Constitution and not to your powers. Can we have such in Nigeria? Not yet. Yes, we have had one or two cases which I can quote here. Ibitu Kiwe telling, the Armed Forces Ruling Council and in council that time that he was going to sleep over certain things because his position was like a vice president, but he was not being treated as such, and so he said, no, I got to go. We also have Colonel Umar Dangiwa, who was Babangida boy, but based on the annulment of the 1993 election,
send ya ya na nọmba Airtel m.
Ọ dị mma, mam dị sharp.
Ngwa Piazza 939 hash ma ọ bụ download ngwa Smart Cash ka imepe akaụntụ nke gị ka ị nwee ike yorie nnukwu onyinye 20,000 naira na Smart Cash. Ị ga-esite na onyinye 20,000 naira gị kwụọ ụgwọ oge ọbụla izuru oge okwu ma ọ bụ kwụọ ụgwọ ọbụla na Smart Cash. Ị ga-enwekwa ike ime transfer gaa na app ọbụla na Nigeria. Usoro na ọnọdụ dịkwa ya.
Hello, ọ batala.
Smart Cash. Duro ya.
Chike, you don't hear the latest? Hero Hunter don't boss everywhere, oh. Ayo, what happen? Why you dey run like this now? Hero Hunter promo don't land. Them call am tank full, pocket full. If you buy Hero Hunter bike now, them go dash you 15,000 naira fuel cashback. Sharp, no be joke, oh. Just buy your bike, scan the QR code where them go give you, fill your details, and then go wire the fuel money, enter your account after small verification. Chai!
We can hear you. Please do talk to us.
They are not on the roadside, they're not causing the sand. And I was there last week, when they came to work. So I take my vehicle, when they come and two vehicles there, and those people take 60,000 each. What we ask is the government aware of all the task force used to do this on their own? They very much people control that environment. That place cannot control the whole mechanic number. So let's come and really come and also rescue them, because I couldn't imagine that that woman is going to be Shema or Tariada. I'll now have to take it down to that of them. It's an uncomfort to the government to deal with that issue. But even if somebody, I don't understand that. Please, that's my case.
This issue of Paris, there's something we have to know. Somebody that is doing a business of 20-30%, making a profit, is quite different from somebody that is doing business with millions of Nigerians. Their profit, even if it is 5 naira, will be much more higher and greater as to take care of the workers and the every other thing. This is just what I want to add. Based on what you're saying, Bonnie, the thing is they have to come down, because millions of Nigerians are using their system and thereby making much more profit, at least in a day. They know how many millions they make. Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
Built by the government, because where you are is very conducive for you in the work. Then I also want to really comment on the issue of the IGP. The IGP, the Police Service Commission, said that they don't have right over him, that he solely rests on the executive. That means he who pays the piper dictates the tune. Is that the kind of IGP we are having that actually is answerable to the president? The constitution needs to really be amended so that the Service Commission should actually have a say on who the IGP should be. Then why staying there when you will be 60, when you've attained your retirement age, you should give way for...
Cornered through rivers. Before 6 months, he was cornered to Abuja. You see, Nigerians are alleging that the president, the way he's carrying on, with everybody who had worked with him, who were his friends, have to surround him in Abuja. These are allegations, though, but if you look critically, you're beginning to see it as well. Can he also sit one day and say, okay, it be like saying not true?
But right? if I'm the president, I don't think I would do too much differently. I would surround myself with people I trust.
Well, when Buhari did it, that was the argument.
You want me to do palace school for me?
What will the IGP do that?
One day. I have to surround myself with people I trust.
Well, the Constitution has cleared it, and we have to stand by it. But I also want to believe that they tactically cue that in. Apart from Buhari, who extended, I think, the tenure of either an IGP or a chief of army staff, that has not been the norm. In the other arms of the military and paramilitary, people have been going as at when due without any extension. So why is it becoming, more like the fad now? Since the days of Buhari, and now his successor is doing just about the same thing.
Too hard. Uzoma Ogomezie, it is not about establishing the University of Ogoni. What about the Ogoni cleanup? It was part of the discussions, so maybe you missed that part. Ojukwu Ugo, the president establishing further university in Ogoni is a welcome development. Mechanics in Aba should adhere to the directive of the government. I think what they're seeking for is clarity. Everybody in any corner or any lungu, as my people in the north will say, that's all they're seeking for. Plus the issue of extortion. Why must you collect 50,000 per vehicle if you are towing the vehicles? I think those are the issues. Henry Ohaji says NLC are always in a hurry to announce what they cannot do. People have lost faith in them. Pastor Ohaji from Oboy Road. Us from the live feed. Comrade Elijah Denwa, truth be told, the activities of non-state actors has been a big challenge to the state. Whereas these guys keep cashing out on a daily basis from most especially those who don't know what the law is saying. If you take a walk and interview these mechanics, you will agree with me that they cannot even pay 200k as alleged. Stanley Rentals from Ibera Moma LGA in Rivers State. He says, good morning, keep up the good work. Thank you. Brother Light, I love to listening. He loves to listen to us. Okay, thank you.
Politicians there too who want to be in the race, but you know, it's about let more people participate. You know, it's not about those who have money alone should be able to do it. That is, I think, the argument.
Ugochukwu Sunday says, God bless Magic FM for the good work. Mayor Nnamdi Okorie, the NLC should develop and implement strategies that effectively influence policy decision and protect workers' rights. Ultimately, the NLC must recognize the gravity of its situation, take concrete steps to revamp its image and regain public trust. Okay, I think I've read this one. Let's go back to the phone now.
Hello.
Good morning, and we are going to see the showers of rain. The fun, wake up, love Magic FM. Thank you.
Okay. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Elvis. I'm calling from Imo State.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.
Please, this issue of tariff, every time all we hear is increase in this, increase in fuel, increase in electricity, increase of telecom. Do we hear of increase in industry? Do we hear an increase of employment? Do we hear an increase of food items? Do we hear an increase of salary? All we continue hearing every day in this country is increase in every.
Okay. Yeah, better now.
All right. Good morning.
Morning.
Why won't Anambra's case be different? There is money in Anambra now.
Are you sure?
Think of
problem.
People are crying, they will say, okay, let's go for a fight, let's go outside. After making the noise, they will call about to collect a very good envelope, and they will show it and they sit down. The issue, whatever they plan will be with.
The average person and those who really wish well, even for local government elections, for councillorship elections, say, let there be more people participating. Out of the lot you could choose, but when you hang the money up there, it's quite likely that only those who have money will be participating in politics. More so that you're talking about expression of intent and collection of nomination forms. All right, it has nothing to do critically with an election yet, and the money is that much. Even if they took 100 million.
Edo elections, the nomination form was 50 million. So it's not about Anambra.
It's not at all.
The price.
Wherever it is, the thinking, which we are echoing here, is.
Okay. Killing my people in Ebonyi State is unacceptable. This thing is getting too much. We cannot take it, and these people are pushing us to the wall. My name is Elvis Kalodi. That's how I sound every time I call. It's unacceptable.
Oji, can we ask you a question? Can we ask you a question?
Ask me a question.
Okay, killing your people in Ebonyi State, is there in Ebonyi State right now a current crisis?
There's crisis now. The Fulanis are killing my people there.
Is there a current? Yeah, it's been like that all over Nigeria. Reports are coming out. Is there a current one that you can say 2 days ago?
They purposely went there and killed my people. They are killing my people.
Okay.
This is my brother Nnamdi.
Okay. We thank you very much. All right. We would like you to tell us that in Ezza or in Abakaliki or in Afikpo, ABC happened yesterday, day before yesterday. So we have a concrete,
n'otu ntabi anya Chateau Lozenges nwere mgbakọta ihe okike ụdị atọ dị ire dịka ginger mint, honey lemon nakwa orange. Ọ ga-enyere gị aka imemila akpịrị mgbu kpamkpam. Chateau Lozenges dị mma, o nweghị ihe ọghọm dị na ya, ọ na-arụ ọrụ nke ọma. Ọ bụ Shalina Healthcare na-ere ya.
Ịtụ ndụ mmanụ na-amasị m, ya mere m jiri na-eri nri akpọrọ aka sie nke na-edozi ahụ. N'ime ite ji porridge m tinyecha azụ, ntinye yabasị, ose na ogo tupu m tinyezie nut cube nke ga-ewepụta ọmarịcha ụtọ dị na nri m ka ọ bụrụ eri amịcha aka. Ndị be anyị chetanụ na nke onye riri ka o buo. Tinye akwụkwọ nri na-ama pokopoko na nri gị niile, werezie nut cube mee ya ka ọ bụrụ eri amịcha aka. Rie nri na-edozi ahụ taa.
Hey, here's a question for you. What gets you out of bed in the morning? Is it the sunrise? The sound of your alarm? No, it's that dream, that drive, that unstoppable force inside you. And you know what fuels that drive? It's starting your day strong with the rich, creamy taste of Nescafe Original 3-in-1, carefully crafted from selected coffee beans. So, whatever your hustle, go from maybe or I can't.
People and politics, providing the alternative voice within the democratic space.
Welcome back. Watching us from the live feed, Porchinedo the audacity with which Tinubu is making appointments without recourse to ethnic or regional consideration tells a lot about the less we think about the consequences, because he knows nothing will stop him in 2027, especially when Mahmoud is there. Mahmoud's tenure is ending this year.
No,
so a new INEC boss is coming.
We're in an era of extensions, though.
No, he has done his 2 terms.
I know now. I know what I'm saying is, it's not as if he wouldn't go constitutionally.
Governance. I'm telling the truth, because at the end of the day, look at what is happening in every other place. When you see that, when you expect somebody to come and do wonders, he will come and but when you see the figure like figures we are seeing in that budget, it is mind-boggling. It is very, very mind-boggling. Let us come together and tell ourselves the truth. If you want good, let us face the good. If you want bad, let us say, okay, we have come to face reality. Let us be in the situation we are. That's my take this morning. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, it's our good friend, Senator Dino Melaye, SDM, who once said on the floor of the Senate that if you tell the truth, you cry. If you don't tell the truth, you cry. And the truth he must say.
Now they up in the booth, holding their rhyme books. Picture how the shit looks. We ain't progressing, my heart to be racing. Problem we're facing, the government be doing the same thing. It's a mouthful, do I walk through? I hear voices telling me that I can pass through the valley of death, the valley of woe. I'm holding my breath to say no, I'm telling you yes, yes. Cause the prince is here. Look into my eyes, man, I see it since clear. And God be the judge, man, I speak sincere. It's time to watch your faces and see it since clear.
Come over here right now, stand attention and check this out.
You're listening to
Magic 102.9.
Keep It Locked.
can